Hey everyone, welcome back to Ragtag Stacking. In today's video, I want to talk a little bit about some reasons why you would stack silver. Now, I know why I stack silver, and I have talked about it on this channel before, and I'll go over it in a second, but I did put up a poll in my community section, and I will leave a link in the description because the polls remain up. This isn't like, Twitter where you can set a time for the poll to be closed. I think the maximum is 7 days on there. Here, they just stay up. Unless you delete them, they're all there to vote on. So this one is still currently up. It isn't too old, so there's a small sample size here. It's been up for 11 hours and there's been 478 votes. So like I said, it is a very small sample size here, but you can see as a physical savings account is leading by quite a big margin here at 57%. So it's over the majority of people that have voted for physical savings account. And then in second place is to hedge against inflation. Third place is as an investment. And down in fourth is other. So yeah, like I said, it's only been up for a couple hours, but that is the small sample size I got there for now. And the one that is in first place right now, the stacking as a physical savings account, I'm not too surprised that that's in first because that is one of the primary reasons that I stack. And every time I see, people in the comments, whenever this subject comes up, that is something that inevitably pops up the most down in the comments. And it's funny, it took me to get into stacking for me to actually start, understanding and paying attention to a budget. I used to be horrible with money. I would try to stick to a budget, but, if I went grocery shopping, stuff would just catch my eye and I ended up going, $50, $60, $100 over budget. It doesn't seem like a lot at first, but, that's the point of a budget. You have certain money allocated to it. And even if you go over $50 or $60, that stuff does add up. So yeah, I was always horrible with money, and especially with just regular savings accounts, because it's not like this where you have the physical item in your hands, and that's where the value, you have to sell it again to get the fiat currency. With my bank account, it was just a click of a button on my app. You know what I mean? I could switch from savings account to my checking account, and then I can buy whatever garbage that I want. You know what I mean? Zero fees, zero anything. When you're using the silver as a physical savings account, you definitely have to think about the purchase, because once you make it, you're going to be in the hole right away. Unless you're lucky enough to be getting silver at spot price, or if you're lucky enough that you make a purchase and by the time it actually gets to your house, if you order it online, there's a huge spike, and the premiums have already been covered by the move in spot price. That hasn't happened to me with silver. It has happened to me with gold once, but for silver, that has not happened yet. So the fact that you're in the hole, and if you were to turn around and sell it right away, that you'd most likely be selling it at a loss, is a good thing to have in the back of your mind when you're viewing this as a savings account. It's something that you do not want to touch and do not need to touch, and you can just hopefully hold on to it for a long time. And it acts as preserving your wealth. It's a wealth preservation tool as well as a physical savings account. So you can almost look at the premiums that are on your silver, your physical savings account here. You can almost think of that as a penalty for transferring it back into fiat. Just like regular banks give penalties and fees and certain service charges if you don't keep up a certain minimum, or if you withdraw at a certain point. So that's what I think about with the premiums, is if I mistakenly don't budget properly and I need to sell some of my silver to cover something in the short term, well then that's a penalty that I'm going to have to pay of flushing some money down the toilet because the premiums tacked on have not been made up. The second one, hedging against inflation, that has been a point of contention with a lot of people, especially lately, because we've been noticing that the price of precious metals hasn't quite been keeping up with the inflation lately. The record-setting inflation that has come lately, we haven't been seeing the silver and gold, quite keeping up the way a lot of people would like to see. I'm not going to get too in-depth on that. I did make a whole video talking about why it hasn't kept up with inflation. I will leave a link or a card up in the corner here if you would like to watch that. But it definitely is a concern with some people that the recent crazy high inflation, the prices of silver and gold haven't been reflected in that. But it is a little bit more complicated with everything that's going on. And of course, silver and gold, it usually goes the inverse of what the dollar is doing. And you think the dollar might not be doing that well, but compared to other world currencies, which the US dollar trades against, it is doing a lot better than a lot of the other currencies out there. So even though inflation is hitting it hard and you can see that the dollar is losing a lot of its value, when it's traded and compared to other coins from around the world, being the world reserve currency, you start to see that. So in certain circumstances, you can still look at the US dollar and say it isn't doing too bad. But if you just look at it on its own, not compared to other currencies, then you can see, okay, it's not faring too well. But yes, the hedge against inflation, it is second place right now. And that again is something that I do use my stack for. And then the option that's in third place is as an investment. Some people, as you can see, there was a small percentage there, but there are some people that do look at stacking silver as an investment. For me, given the first two reasons, the physical savings account and the hedge against inflation, I don't really view it too much as an investment. If over the years, 10 years from now, my entire stack has made a profit, that's gravy. Spot price moving up, obviously, if it moves up to a point that covers all the premiums that I've paid, then yes, I've made a money on it. But it's not necessarily like a traditional investment where you can say, oh, I'm going to buy an American Silver Eagle, and then in 3 months I'm going to sell it for 30% profit. That's not really how this works, you know what I mean? You could be lucky and that happens, but like I said, for me, silver stacking is a long-term thing. So yeah, the way I view an investment is to, the purpose is to solely buy something with the sole purpose of it to, gain value in time and selling it at a profit. The one type of stacking that I do consider investing would be if you are flipping, because that is a completely different mindset than what I'm talking about here. You're not looking to hold on to the silver for a decade, a lifetime, and save it for retirement. When you're looking to flip, you're looking to get very, very hot coins that are popular, trying to get as many as you can, and then selling them for a profit as quick as you can to people that are looking to get it. So you're looking for low mintage coins. You can't really just run in and grab a maple leaf or grab a 10-ounce bar. I always use the example of a 10-ounce bar. You can't say that you're just going to get a generic Sunshine Mint bar and say, oh, this I'm going to flip for a 30% profit. That does not make sense because this isn't rare. It isn't a low mintage. People will see your inflated price and just say, well, there's still 300 left at Atmex. There's still 200 of these bars left at Jambo, and I can get them for the exact same price that you paid. So why would I buy it secondhand from you for like this huge profit? That doesn't make sense. So yeah, I would consider flipping an investment, obviously, and I have said before I haven't done it yet. So right now, at the moment, the way I stack, any profit that I'm getting from it obviously would be nice, but again, I'm using it for that physical savings account, wealth preservation, and as the hedge against inflation. And then there were some other ones that I saw there, and I only wanted to put 3 options and then with the other because I could have put a lot of options up there to vote. But one of the ones that popped up before was prepping. A lot of people use it for prepping, because they do believe that there is a situation, the SHTF situation might be around the corner, and if a bartering system comes into popular usage again, then there are some advantages to having some silver, and especially if you have junk silver. For me, this is what I consider fractional silver. They do have fractional bullion pieces, but just like with gold, the smaller you go, the higher the premiums go. So some of the fractional bullion is nice, like the quarter and half-ounce coins, but they are quite expensive compared to the junk silver. Now, junk silver historically has been cheap, but over the past couple of months, over the year or so, we have seen that the premiums on junk silver have been going up if you've been able to find, any at all. It's been, from the videos that I've seen, dimes have kind of been a little bit harder to come by. I have been seeing a lot more half dollars when I see junk. And for me up in Canada, I usually go for the Canadian half dollars. I love these things. I've shown them before, but I love the goose. I have tubes of them on the go. And these are the best option on eBay, for me at least, are these Canadian silver dollars. They do carry a pretty low premium. And then the other one that I like to get is the half dollars, be it the Canadian half dollars or the American half dollars. I do like that size as well. And another thing that popped up in the comments quite a bit is people saying that they stack as a collector. They like to collect coins. And for me, I don't really collect numismatic coins, but I do like to collect coins that are in a series. Now, no one would mistake this for a high premium numismatic coin series, but it is a collection. It's a collection of 6 coins in this Queen's Virtue set, and I want to collect them all. So yeah, they're not collector coins. They're not numismatic value or anything like that. You can pick up these in the same ballpark as like a Britannia or a Philharmonic, or on some sites are around the price of a Maple Leaf. So if these were around the same ballpark as, say, a Libertad, what Libertads are going for, then maybe I would say this is edging on getting to be a collector coin, because for me Libertads are too expensive to stack. The price of them up here make it so that I'll grab a couple here and there if I see them, just because I love the coin, but it's not something that I'm actively stacking because it's too expensive. Coins like these, where it's the collection of 6, obviously I like the Royal Canadian Mint Creatures of the North series as well. Everyone's favorite, the Queen's Beast series, is another coin collection that I would want to collect, but I don't actually view as collector coins. But yeah, that was just a quick video I wanted to make, because I did put up that poll last night, and as I said, the link will be in the description to my community page if you would like to vote on that poll, because it is still up. But yeah, the right now with that sample size, the physical savings account is number 1. Hedging against inflation is number 2 in the vote. The third one's investment, and then 4th is other. And during this video, I have gone over a few of the others that have been mentioned in the poll. And the 2 that popped up the most was prepping. Obviously, that's another style of stacking that a lot of people have adopted in the stacking community. And then again, as a collector. And in the future, when I reach my silver stacking goal, a goal which I have not set yet, I don't have an ultimate goal for what I want to do with my silver, but once I actually get and reach that goal, then I might start looking at actually collecting some numismatic or semi-numismatic pieces regularly. And like I always say, I'd like to hear from you in the comments, but in this video I've already kind of heard from some of you in the poll question, but if you have not voted on that, like I said, you have a chance. But also in this video, I'd like to hear if you have anything you'd like to say. Just leave it down in the comments, because I do like hearing from you and continuing the conversation. But anyways, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you come back for the next one. Thank you.